Hare Krishna devotees. Again, I thank you, ISKCON Columbus, for giving me the opportunity to serve you all. My name is Shyam Sundar Das. Today's topic, we are going to discuss today again on Bhishma Stuti. For last few weeks or few months, I would say, we stuck on Bhishma Stuti. And this is one of the prayer. Those who might not heard about Bhishma Maharaj, this is one of the beautiful prayers where Lord Shri Krishna himself is present in front of Bhishma Pitama while his stuti is being conveyed to him. In very rare occasions where Lord is present, where the stuti is being spoken. Normally when we do hymns or stutis, the Lord is virtually is not there. Like for example here in temple, we have a Shri Radha Vrindavan network. He's there, but we cannot see with our eyes because we don't have a transcendental eyes. So today we will start off with the verse second of the stuti. We already covered first verse. So we'll briefly go over the first verse and then we will start off with the second verse. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Dhananjala Shalakaya Chakshurapamilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Vedanta Shivaspada Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I hope you can all see the first verse of Bhishma Stuti. This stuti actually is a part of a Srimad Bhagavatam. This stuti is not a part of a Mahabharata. If you read Mahabharata, if you study Mahabharata, in Mahabharata there is another stuti which is called Vishnu Sahasranama. So this is a different in Bhagavatam. Why it is a different? There is a reason behind it. Very briefly we'll talk about the reason because that's not the theme of our discussion today. See, when the Mahabharata was written, the Vyas Muni was given this what we call Divya Drashti. He can see everything. Sometimes what happens, we can see the far-sighted things, but sometimes those who have a cataract, they may not be able to see everything. I wouldn't say that Vyas Muni has a cataract, but the Vyas Muni's vision was limited in a sense that Bhishma Stuti was a part of a Srimad Bhagavatam. Even Srimad Bhagavatam is also written by the Vyas Muni only, but the Srimad Bhagavatam was written when after the Narad Muni, his spiritual master, enlightened him. So it is like, when we have operation in a theater room where eyes, cataract operation or somebody had a eye operation. When the operation is done, after some time the doctor comes and checks everything and says, okay, now open your eyes. And then you don't open like, I see everything. Say, open your eyes slowly, slowly, slowly. Prabhu. And then you slowly, okay. Oh, I can see, but it's a little blur. And the doctor said, don't worry. After a few days, it will be all right. Because we'll put you some drops and it will be okay. This is just a metaphor to understand. So don't be confused with the Bhishma Stuti that is in the Srimad Bhagavatam with the Vishnu Sahasranam that is in Mahabharata. So we'll start off with the first verse.
Okay, you can give me the
Is it closing? So just to give you a 1 minute brief what happened so far. So when the war was ended, everything was done, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked to enthrone the Rajya Hastinapur, the kingdom. And it is said in the Mahabharata as well that the Yudhishthira was bewildered by the Maya, Yog Maya, or the Maya, the external energy of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna knew that there is one of my devotees still waiting for me in the battlefield. There was nobody there in the battlefield. Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows for 55 days. So Krishna doesn't want to leave, but he was acting as if that he wants to leave. So he used his potency to cover the wisdom of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So no matter how many sages try to explain Yudhishthira Maharaj, that don't worry, what has happened is happened. There was no fault of yours. You enthroned you are now crowned. You are the king. So take the Simhasan, the kingdom. But Yudhishthira Maharaj said, you know what? I don't feel like to be a king. Why? Because I am the person responsible for so many slaughters of these citizens. There are so many innumerable people were killed in battlefield of Mahabharata. So once everybody has spoken, Lord Shri Krishna also started speaking, but he couldn't grasp it, what exactly he wants to say. Lord Krishna is so, I would say, he's so clever with choosing his words. He puts those words in your thinking that you think that even the Krishna himself, the God, speaking to you, you don't seem to understand this. Because it was his plan to visit Bhishma Pitama. So when Pandavas were taken to the Bhishma Pitama's, everybody, the whole universe came to know about this. And all the big sages gathered in the battlefield of Mahabharata. Big Narad Muni, Parashar, Vyasdev, you name it, and they were there. Because they knew that Bhishma is not an ordinary person. The Bhishma was, at the time when he leaves his body, he was about 175 years old. So he has seen a lot. And a lot of others have seen Bhishma Pitama as well. So he knew. They all knew the stature of Bhishma Pitama. So when Pandavas come to the battlefield, Bhishma Pitama starts speaking to them. The first thing that struck to Bhishma Pitama that he speaks to them is like that, oh, it is with a great pain I'm seeing you Pandavas. And Pandavas looking at each other. Why Bhishma Pitama is saying such? Why is he in a great pain by seeing us? Bhishma Pitama says, you all actually with Krishna, and you always perform the righteous work. You were in a path of dharma. And it is said in the Shastras, scriptures, that the one who is in the path of scripture or the dharma, the righteous duties, they normally don't get this many troubles. But it seems that you guys have got so many troubles. And because of that, he was very painful. So Yudhishthira Maharaj comes forward and say, Bhishma Pitama, can you please enlighten me? Why we've gone through so many troubles in our life? Bhishma Pitama said that normally for troubles there are 3 reasons. The first reason is that you have a Pitra. Pitra is the father. If your father has done something wrong in their lifetime, you normally suffer. So Bhishma Pitama says, you know what? Your father, Pandu, he was such a noble person that if when he was a king at the time, if anybody comes to know that we have to wage a war against Pandu, they put their weapons down. Why? Because he was such a nice, noble person. Nobody wants to have a fight with Pandu. So I do not see any problem in your father. So the first reason is gone. The second reason is because of the mother. If your mother has done something wrong, you have to suffer. Say, your mother Kunti, she is also a very noble lady. So I do not see either there is any faults in Kunti too. That neither your father has any problem nor your mother. The third problem would have been is your karma. But says it could not be that reason too either. Why? Because if your karma was bad, let's say for an example, your karma is bad, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, would not have been with you. So the third reason is not that either. Now, after hearing all this, Yudhishthira Maharaj was bewildered, totally confused. He becomes a confused.com. He doesn't understand why we have gone through it. And then slowly, Bhishma Pitama, looking at the Krishna, he smiles and says, all these troubles that have come in your life is because of this Krishna. And these Pandavas were looking at Krishna saying, I thought you were in my party or our party. How come we got so much trouble in our life? Then Bhishma Pitama explains. The reason I'm explaining all this to you now is because when we will go on to the stuti, you would understand the mood of Bhishma Pitama. Because to understand the mood, normally it is said, whenever you do any hymns or prayers, you need to understand the mood of the hymns. Normally we chant hymns or prayers, but we do not understand the mood or what is the reason why this hymns was spoken, what is being spoken. So I'm setting the scene for you to understand that why this prayer was spoken to Lord Shri Krishna and in front of Pandavas and everybody. When the Yudhishthira and the company was looking at Krishna, and Krishna smiles, and the Bhishma Pitama says, normally what happens, there is one story, I give you very briefly, so you would understand. There was one king in a past time, and that king used to give a lot of donations. So his palace was very huge palace. So we normally have a balcony in a palace, our home balcony. So he was in a top balcony, and always every day he used to do a donation. So the citizens of the country, of his kingdom, used to gather. And in the morning, the fixed time, he used to throw golds, whatever they need, all the jewelries and everything. And the citizens used to take the golds and whatever they need in their arms, and they used to go. But one thing that the king realized, that even though I'm doing so many donations throughout my lifetime, these citizens actually have not seen me. They have not seen my face. So he went to his spiritual master, and he asked his spiritual master, what should I do in this situation? His spiritual master actually paused for a minute and said, so what exactly you want? You want to be recognized by your people of your kingdom? I said, yes, they don't know me. They know me, I am a king. But they don't know as my face that I am a king. They do one thing. Tomorrow, when you're supposed to do this donation, you gather a lot of stones. And when they start gathering, put a lot of stones on them. And this king was shocked. And saying, okay, well, my spiritual master is saying something. I should do that. I should follow it. So that other day, he gathered a lot of stones. And then as soon as the people gathered, he started throwing the stones. And normally what happens when the stones actually, and big stones, not like small stones. Normally the stones hit you. So, oh my God, what happened? What happened? And they look up front to see that who is throwing the stones. And finally they see the face of the king. Similarly, Lord Krishna does the same with us. When Lord Shri Krishna gives us a lot of comforts, pleasures, we don't look at the Krishna, we don't look up the God. Then he has given us so much. Okay, Krishna, thank you very much. And then Krishna make you realize, everything is coming from me. So he sometimes gives us a pain, stones, troubles. so that we can straight away, Krishna, save me, please save me. I have a lot of trouble. Right? We do all this all the time. So this is the reason why we have a lot of troubles in our life. Actually, the Pandavas are great devotees or were great devotees, and the troubles that have come in their life is just merely the wish of Krishna, because they wanted to purify us and purify them, and more than that, it set an example to us that bhakti does not mean that you would never have a problem in your life. But the good thing about bhakti is one thing. Sometimes when we go in a preaching, we are being told, हमें ये बताया जाता है in Hindi. I'm sorry to say this word because it's Hindi. He says, कृष्ण की तो भक्ति करनी ही नहीं चाहिए. Do not do a bhakti of Krishna. बोला why? ये कृष्ण की भक्ति जो करता है ना, उसको बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है. The one who is performing Krishna bhakti is going under lot of troubles. So don't do Krishna bhakti. Do any other demigod's bhakti. They will give you all, but don't do Krishna bhakti. But they do not understand this. Since Krishna is the spiritual, he is the supreme Lord. Like you have kids, right? You have kids. So you do not want to see your kids suffering for a longer. If you have kids have any chronic pain or chronic disease, you want to get rid of that disease as soon as possible. So the chronic disease that we all are having is this karma. We have done so many karmas throughout our life. So Krishna wants to give a trouble in our life so much that all the karmas that we call the prarabdha karma get exhausted. And then we finally go to the back to Godhead. But sometimes devotee, the pure devotee do see it such way, but the normal devotee do not see in this way. I remember a Maharaj, I just forgotten his name. He's there in my mind, but it's not in my mouth. He was hospitalized. How can I forget him? His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. He was hospitalized once in ICU, and His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj used to pay his visit to him and inquire very inquisitively and said that, "How are you, Maharaj? How are you feeling now? I know you've gone through a lot of trouble." And the Maharaj said, "I'm perfectly fine, no problem." And Radha Govind Maharaj said, "But I can see a lot of vein, lot of injections and all these veins is there in your veins, all these injections and everything." Say, oh, you are talking about this body. The body is not good, but I am very good. So say, this is the realization of the great devotees. This is what exactly Krishna is trying to explain us in Srimad Bhagavad Gita too. We are not the body, we are the spirit soul. But normally we see ourselves as a body. Anyway, we now come on to the first verse, which is again the first verse we have already been gone through. So just quickly, for 1 minute, we will go through it. So it starts with a Bhishma Uvacha. Iti mati rupa kalpita vetrushana bhagavati santa pungave vibhunni swasumukha upagate vachita vihartum prakratim upayasha yad swabhava. So here Lord Shri Krishna says that, "Hey Krishna, I have one daughter." And when Bhishma says, "I have one daughter," everybody is shocked. All these sages, great sages say, "We thought you are a celibate, you are brahmachari. How come you have a daughter?" He says, "My daughter is my mati, my intellect. And I am going to have my daughters marrying to you." Yes. So Krishna says, because since we have gone through this verse, so we will not go in the detail. So Krishna says, "Okay, you want to have your daughters to marry me, but do you know anything about me?" Normally when in India, especially when anywhere in the world, if you want to marry somebody, you would inquire about that person, right? How is he? What does he do? What is his income like? Of course not Bhishma Pita inquiring like such, but normally we do in a material world. So the Krishna says, "What do you know about me?" So the second verse, if you go in the second verse, Kabira, please. So you can repeat after me, verse number 33. Here, the beauty of Krishna is being described. So we will go through this verse. So you can repeat after me. The verse goes like this. त्रिभुवन कमल तमाल वर्णम रविगौरवराम्बर दधाने वपुर अलक कुलावृतं दभंजम विजय सखेरस्तिरस्तु मे वद्या So we understand this verse. So the core idea of this verse is Bhishma is basically saying to Krishna that Krishna, I don't want any transactional connection with you. Transactional means we do a business, right? I give you something, Prabhu, and you give me something in return, right? And this is normal we do in the temple or anywhere. We go to the temple and we go in front of the deity and say, you know, deity, this is my $100 to you. Now I have a lot of problems. Please resolve my problems. That's what the transactional connection. So Krishna, the Bhishma is saying that I do not want any transactional connection with you. But my mind, my mati is captured by your beauty. So what beauty is it? We will going to talk about today. So the beauty, Krishna's beauty is described here. So the first line of this verse is Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varanam. So what does it mean, Tribhuvana? Tribhuvana Kamanam? Tribhuvan means three worlds. The three worlds are, one is upper planetary system, one is lower planetary system, and one is the middle one, in which we are in. Bhu Bhuva Swaha. So in three worlds, there is no one desirable than you. So Krishna says, okay, but why? Because of your beauty. And what is your beauty? Tamal Varnam. Now those who are from India, they would recognize what is a Tamal Vruksh like. Tamal Vruksh is like a little, means we use a bay leaf, right? You know bay leaf, Prabhu? But bay leaf, bay leaf is a dry bay leaf, so it looks like brown. But that Tamal Vruksh is not a brown. When it is live, it's not a brown. We see Krishna as a, what is the color of Krishna, by the way? Pink?
Monsoon cloud.
Monsoon cloud. Okay, very good. But why, have you ever thought about this? See, this is a really good analogy to understand. Why Krishna is a blue, means not dark blue, but like monsoon cloud blue. Why is not a pink? Why is not a yellow? Why is not green or any other color for that argument? Prabhu, what do you think? Why Krishna is blue? Just give me wild answer. I don't mind correct answer.
Because it's attractive. It's the color of the sky.
Okay, but why the color of the sky is blue? Let's put it this way.
To draw our attention.
Okay, very good answer. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Prabhu, why Krishna is blue or sky blue or whatever you want to say?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, yes.
Blue is the color of peace, so the blood of peace.
Don't look my cheeks. Okay, very good. Good answer. He's looking right to my answers. Very smart. Okay, what about you, Mataji? Why Krishna is blue?
It's just beautiful.
Blue is beautiful. That means that the pink or blue or red, yellow, they don't look good? They are not beautiful? Prabhu, you know the answer.
No.
Friends in the Prabhu knows everything.
I was just saying that because he likes to be blue and his devotees like him to be blue. So he can also appear as yellow, golden, depending on how the devotees want him. He can appear in any color.
Yes, sir.
So,
Mataji, why Krishna is blue?
He presents the clouds because clouds shower rain and he showers mercy on everybody.
See, you don't need class, Prabhu.
but then Gauranga Mahaprabhu is not showering mercy, he's golden in complexion.
We can always have argument. Okay, let's understand why Krishna is blue. See, the color blue, it shows the infinity, the vastness. And anything that is limitless is blue. For an example, the ocean. The ocean, the deeper you go, you will see blue. Now, when you take the water in your hand, the color is water is not blue. But you see the ocean is a blue. If you see the sky, as Prabhu said, sky is also blue. Because sky is also limitless. Are we agree on this? Are we agreeing on this, Mataji? Yes? Okay. So blue is the symbolization of limitless. And Krishna is undoubtedly limitless. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. Of course, as he already saw my notes. Blue also the color of peace. Now normally you will see, you have let's say 100,000 of people standing there. And if one person has wearing a red or let's say yellow, for example, it looks very attractive. Really, we can easily identify this person, the one who's wearing yellow or red, because that color is attractiveness, it attracts it. But you cannot stare at that color for a longer time. It hurts you. To soothe your eyes, you need to have a blue color. So that's why Krishna is blue. Now we understand the connection why Krishna is blue. I will ask you this question at the end of this lecture, okay? So that I will make sure that you are all awake. So here in the verse, he says, Tamala Varnam Ravi Kora Gauram Vara Dadhane. So here there are three words we need to understand. One is Ravi, Gaura Varnam and Dadhane. Dadhane means when put on. Ravi means sun and Gaura Varna means golden. So we see that Krishna is wearing a yellow pitambar dhoti. Now another question comes, why Krishna is wearing a pitambar dhoti? And don't tell me because of the Radharani's color, because that's already been known. I want a different answer. So who will give me the answer? Prabhu, please, you. Why Krishna is wearing a pitambar, the yellow dhoti? Whatever answer you think. Because you like yellow, that's why Krishna wears it. That's fine. Okay, who wants to answer?
It's like lightning on the clouds.
Lightning on the clouds. Okay, very good.
So peacocks start dancing.
You're very transcendental, Mataji. Okay, Mataji, what about you? Why Krishna is wearing a yellow pitambar or dhoti?
I think yellow is golden and attractive.
Okay, very good. What else it could be? Attraction is good. Yeah, of course. Attraction is there. Even the red attracts as well. He could have put on the red as well.
Blue matches with yellow.
Undoubtedly, Prabhu. I'm totally surrendered to you. Blue matches with yellow, that's why. Very good, excellent. Anybody else wants to try? Mataji, you want to try?
Because he wants to look like the sun.
He wants to look like the sun. Okay, very good answer. Anybody else? Mataji? No. No, I'm not answering. No.
It looks like the sad.
No. That's wrong answer. I'm hiding my cheeks. Okay, so anything that is yellow is known as earthly. So, for example, in those who are student of science, they would have done something called a flame test. They send silicon dioxide. If you put on a flame test, the flame comes as yellow. So the Krishna wants to exhibit when he takes the form as a manusya, like a human form. He wants to associate with the earth. That's why he's normally having a yellow pitambar. Now, of course, we have another answer where Krishna, because Radharani, Srimati Radharani, Takta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radha Vrindavaneshwari, she is also yellowish. That's why he is wearing yellow. Undoubtedly, yes. There is nothing wrong in that answer. But this is also another perspective of looking at why he is wearing a yellow dhoti. So again, this is the second answer I will ask you at the end of the session. Okay? Okay, so the third pada of this verse is a Vapura Kula Vritan Bhajam. So what does this mean? Now we have three more words to understand. See, the beauty of Krishna each of this word of this prayer, of these hymns are so beautiful, so thorough. Each of the words we can speak on hours and hours. It is so divine, so depth of it. But since I don't have hours of hours, and you will get bored as well, so I will explain you very briefly. So Vapura, in a Gujarati, those who belongs to Gujarati, we have a very common name called Alaka. Have you heard about the name Alaka? Alaka. Alaka Mataji. This is the name of the person Alaka. Female name. Alaka means lut. You know, normally you see that Matajis, when they are having a lot of hairs, one of the hairs is coming in front. And normally they do like this. Like this. You have seen this, right? So when Krishna is riding a chariot, his hair are so glossy and so beautiful, his curly hairs. So sometimes his hair is coming in front of his face. So the fourth.
Chaz has a haircut.
You got a haircut.
No, he has a saloon. He can cut.
Oh, Prabhu, you got a salon? Okay. Then please, I will come to your service. So here it says that what happens that his face is covered with his hair. So when he's riding a chariot, now normally we have here the good roads, RCC roads, we have very good roads. Back that time there were no roads, and still in so many parts of India the condition of the roads are not good. So the chariot is very wobbly. So sometimes sometimes Parth, who is Arjun, he's busy shooting the arrows, and he see that I want to shoot him. So he actually kick Lord Krishna. Take this one, because he doesn't have time to tell Krishna, Krishna, I want to take right, go left, go straight, go backward. So he kicks Krishna. So sometimes Krishna is being kicked. His hair is also coming in front. So this is all being seen by whom? Bhishma Pitama. So this is what Bhishma Pitama is describing. The beauty of Krishna. What he is looking at Krishna, how Krishna looks like. So in this verse, he says, you are a vapur. Your lot of the hair coming in front, and it comes in front of your mouth, in your face. And the next one is says, Vijaya Sakheya Rati Rastu Mene Vidya. See, in a Bhishma Stuti, these 11 verses, starting from verse number 32 to verse number 42, 11 verses. There are 3 words you will find often. The first is Gati. Gati means to progress. You know, Prabhu, you progress from one standard to second standard. So Gati. The second one is Rati. Rati means attachment, love. Attachment, love, right?
Attraction.
Attractions. Okay. And what is the third one, Prabhu?
Mati.
Mati, yay! Bonus point. So the first word we started with Itimati Rupa Kalpita Vitushra. My intellect is being surrendered to you. So when you will read this hymn, you will come across each of these verses will have this either 1, 2, or 3 of this 3 of this word. So here it says Vijay Sakhe Rati Rastume Vidya. Now who is a Vijay? Who is a Vijay? Whose name is Vijay? Do we have any Vijay Prabhu here? Arjuna. Oh, he's talking about Arjuna. Okay. So he's talking about Arjuna. Vijay Sakhe. Sakhe means friend. Now normally we say in English we have a very common word friend. We normally say friend. In Sanskrit we have a lot of different names of friends. So a fast friend is called something else. A friend that whom you see once a week is called something else. A friend you see probably when they have a problem, when they need a money, you see him, that's called something else. And a friend whom you have a heart, you give your heart to somebody, is called something. That's why Draupadi calls Krishna what he calls Sakha. Draupadi never calls Krishna as a Krishna. He calls Sakha. Sakha means the one whom we share everything. We sit together, we eat food, we do everything. He knows inside out. As soon as that friend looks at you, he or she understands what mood are you in. Whether you are in distress, whether you are whether you are happy. So that's here it is says Vijaya Sakhe. Vijay means Krishna, Arjun. Arjun has 10 names. One of the names also Krishna. Even this is the information to give you. Draupadi and Arjun, their skin color was not fair as we see in TV. The skin color is similar like Krishna. They were dark, British. That's why they were called Krishna. Krishna is somebody who is dark, is called Krishna. So Draupadi is also Krishna. Krishna, thank you Prabhu. And Arjun is also Krishna. So Arjun's 10 names, out of 10 names, Dhananjaya, we know, Sabyasachi. One of the names is Krishna, one of the name is Vijay. Vijay. So he said Vijaya Sakhe. So here said, now we understand what does it mean by Vijay Sakhe? Means why Arjun is so favorite to Krishna? What has made him to be so favorite of Krishna? Anybody?
His love for Krishna.
Love, exactly. What else apart from love? Surrender to Krishna. Okay. Muni Prabhu? No? Okay. Mataji's? Anybody from Mataji's side? Humility? Okay. Humility. Prabhu?
Humility, non-enviousness,
Non-enviousness.
tolerance.
Yes, that's the answer, Prabhu. Non-enviousness. See, we are being called Vaishnav. We are all being called Vaishnav. We are Vaishnav, right? In Gujarati, the language that I spoke, we call Vaishnav is the one who doesn't have enviness. Vishnav. Vishnav. Now means not to be. Vish means envy. The one who doesn't have an envy is called Vaishnav. Normally we think Vaishnav is the one who worship Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Yeah, that is true. Undoubtedly that's true. But the first quality Krishna looks at you is non-enviousness. Because this enviness, again, this is the lecture that I've spoken in a length sometime later, earlier. Enviness that caused a lot of problems. That's why in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the second or third verse, it says, Nirmastaranam. Nirmastaranam means Paro Pumsa Paro Dharma. Why Pumsa Paro Dharma means the Param Dharma is without enviness. This enviness binds us. Because even if you are anger, you can give everything to Krishna, but not enviness. Krishna will accept your anger. He will accept your even karma, like gopis. They surrender their karma to Krishna. But have you read anywhere that there was one envious devotee called XYZ has surrendered his enviness to Krishna? No. Because the enviness is such a disease in us that as long you can see krodha. You know, sometimes when you are angry, you can detect krodha, you can detect the anger, you can detect the lobha, greed, you can detect that. But the enviness is very subtle. You cannot detect that. So thank you very much, Prabhu. Yes. And even Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, why I'm giving you this this knowledge? Because you are my friend and you are not envy to me. It does not mean that other devotees were envious, but in comparison, the Arjuna was non-envious. He was full, as Prabhu said, Arjuna was fully surrendered, etc., etc. Yes, he's fully surrendered. We try to be surrendered to Krishna. There are so many devotees surrendered to Krishna, but it is very rare to find a devotee who is non-envious. So Krishna teaches us that if you envy somebody, he is as far as you if you envy somebody. So if I envy Prabhuji, for example, which I does not, he is my spiritual master. So if I envy Prabhuji, for example, the farther Krishna is sitting in front of me, the further far is Krishna from me. So if you envy anybody, Krishna will be away from you. So if you are serious to attain Krishna, you have to get rid of this enviness. We have still some time, 10-15 minutes, we will have some question answers. So there's one thing I want to explain this verse. Again, see, with the Bhishma Sutta, it is so dear, it is so close to my heart. I thought every time when I do a Sunday feast class that I will finish this stuti. But I'm stuck with this one verse. And even though I don't have enough time to explain. So I'm sorry, Prabhu, Prem Chandra Prabhu, you have to give me some more time to explain later on.
We'll do a
Coming
saptah.
days.
We'll do a saptah. 7 days we'll do.
Not
7
enough,
days.
not enough.
Not enough. So let's understand, because we are talking about the beauty of Krishna, I want to explain a little more about Krishna's beauty. And then we will wrap up. There are 4 types of beauties in this world. We will talk materially first, then we will go to Krishna. So the first type of beauty is physical beauty. And we all know what is physical beauty is like, right? So we don't need to speak a lot about this. The second type of beauty is the natural beauty. Now natural beauty doesn't mean your physical beauty. In a Hindi or in a Gujarati, we say natural beauty is like a swabhava, your nature. We say your nature is good, Prabhu. Right? We say nature. Qualities, traits. Now, for an example, you go to some function. Let's say an example. You go to some function, and by chance, you come across with Miss Ohio, example, or Mr. Ohio. For Mataji is Mr. Ohio. For Prabhu is Miss Ohio. And everybody is around her or him, and by chance you get a chance to speak to her or him. I will say her, you will understand me. And when you speak to her, and for a minute or so, you speak to say, wow, I saw you other day on this interview. The questions that you've been asked to you were really good. The way that you were answering was absolutely brilliant. It was mind-boggling. After sometimes, minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, that Miss World or Miss Ohio, whosoever she is, she doesn't even look at you at all. She doesn't even pay attention who is talking. But there are so many people looking at her. What you will feel in your heart? You may be Miss Ohio, you may be Miss World at your home. I'm least bothered about you. Do we feel like that? Nobody does, but she doesn't give you attention to you. So, to understand here the trait, the nature, the swabhava of this beautiful woman or beautiful man has a good physique, but it doesn't have a good swabhava, good nature. You will connect with Krishna, this one. So remember this one. The third one is manner, which we call in Hindi or Gujarati sanskar. Now sanskar is what? Basically nature, the manner is something we can learn, we can imbibe these qualities. It is like a training. So for example, when you come to a temple every Sunday and you see a Prabhuji or Mataji is having a really good mannerism. Mannerism in such not the way that they speak. Mannerism in such a way that she's very polite, or he attributes. Etiquettes. Okay, we can say etiquettes. Okay, etiquettes. It's more than etiquettes, but we can say etiquettes because etiquettes is very standard. It's more than that because you can learn etiquettes. You can go for trainings of etiquettes. But the mannerism sanskar, so just to give you an example, let's say some point of time your wife says, I've seen one thing in you. What? You become very angry all the time. All trivial matters, you go haywire. And then you think for a while sometimes, and then you come to a temple and you see a Mataji or Prabhu being very polite, very surrender soul, and naturally you like to speak to her or him. You see her or him and then you say, you know what? I want to imbibe this quality in me. And then slowly you put in practice. And after 6 months, one fine day when you are hanging, when you are actually swinging on your julas, your wife comes with a water. We don't drink tea, right? With a water and says, I want to share something with you. And she sits with you and then they speak each other. And say, one thing I have noticed in the last 6 months, and that husband, his ears stands up. Now what? He says, normally happens, right? Now what? Say, you have changed. What changed? Your anger has come, you calm down with your anger. So, this is a quality that we can learn. And the fourth beauty is Atma beauty, which is a soul beauty. Now, soul beauty is like your default programming. Like when you open a computer, We have a default operating system, Windows 11 nowadays. I have Windows 10, I have to upgrade to 11 now. So Windows 11, for example, there's a standard, there's an operating system. So all of us, we have some default settings in our life. Some may be good, humble, naturally humble. He doesn't have to show that he's humble. Some may be very soft spoken. Mataji is well singer. She hasn't learned. She hasn't gone to school. But it's natural. It's her soul quality, for example. Now, one thing that I always learned in my life, that one of the English proverbs that I always learn, and you would want to take this away from this today's lecture. I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that people will not remember what you have told them. People will not remember what you have told them. People even not remember what you gave them. People will not remember what you gave them. But people will definitely remember how you behave with them. Prabhuji. So, normally what happens? Shri Radha Vrindavan Network ki jai. Normally what happens, if you see a child, like we have a matrimony, so when he will grow up, let's say another 4 or 5 years, he will have attraction to like some toys, for example, the plastic toys, cars, normal cars, a transformer, whatever it may be. He may be playing with, of course, Bhagavad Gita. So a kid who is on birthday, for example, his birthday is today, and everybody's been invited, his friends and everybody's, their parents and everybody's invited. And they come up with a gift. Normally you see gifts, right? Small, big size. And when they come up with the gifts, and when they present the gifts, he cuts a cake, and he's very eager that when will everybody leave, so that I start opening the gifts. Right? That happens. Because that kid has an interest in gifts. But that same kid will grow up, when he will grow up, let's say he turns 15 years old or 20 years old, for example. And the father, very fine day, the father actually realized, when I'm passing by this Target store, let me get this $10 car for my son. And he buys a $10 car for his son. And he goes to the home and says, "Hey son, I got a surprise for you." And normally, 15 years old teenager, "What is that, Dad?" And Dad said, "Hey, I got a car for you." And he opens the car and said, "Oh Dad, I've grown up. When will you grow up? I'm now 15 years old." So he's not interested in that $5 or $10 car. The same interest he had when he was 5 years old.
Interest in Tesla car.
Interested in Tesla car?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll speak to Elon Musk. So basically here what I'm trying to explain here, if you give something to somebody, there is always somebody else is ready there to give that person something better than that. If your birthday is today, I may give Prabhuji a watch, but there may be somebody else standing out there who may give a better gift to Prabhuji. So people will not remember what you gave them. Sometimes people do forget what you told them, but people will definitely remember how you behave with them when you work with them. So these 4 beauties we can see in Lord Krishna. He's physically, undoubtedly the most handsome on this, not this universe, all the universes, that innumerable universes, he's definitely the most handsome. We talked about why is it blue. In terms of the Svabhava, nature beauty, undoubtedly his nature, we will talk that nature beauty. Remember, we will talk next time when I will go on the 3rd verse. The 4th one, Sanskar, and the 5th one, Atma beauty. All these beauties are found in Lord Sri Krishna. And it is subtle, it's not something he has to work. So to end up this, because I still have some more things to explain to you, but just to end up with a good note. When Bhishma Pitama, when the Pandavas come along with Krishna, and everybody started talking about Krishna is here and Bhishma Pitama is also starting. But there is one thing Bhishma Pitama wants to see of Krishna. He has seen everything of Krishna, but there is one thing he has not seen. And what is that? The way that Krishna walks. Normally how we walks like this. right? But Krishna walks like this. He puts his leg like this and then he puts leg like this. He walks like this in a Vrindavan with the gopis. So Bhishma Pitama wants to see his walks. Hey Krishna, you have done everything. The verse number 24 of this particular canto chapter, where Lord Shri Krishna been asked that now you stand still, okay? Don't make any pose. Krishna said, how do I stand? Because Bhishma Pitama is saying that I'm about to leave my body, so I want you to stay still. So sometimes Krishna said, making a lot of faces. Bhishma said, don't do naughtiness here. I want you to stay still. So Krishna said, but how long? You got a boon from your father that you can choose the time of your death. You may ask me to stand here same as for so many years. I cannot do that. Bhishma Pitama said, don't worry. I won't take much of your time, as I'm not taking much of your time right now. So Bhishma Pitama wants to see Krishna the way he walks. That's why we call Tribhunga. He is three-way-fold. The way he is standing, that's the same way he is also walking. So we'll talk about this more in the coming weeks whenever Prabhuji give me another Sunday feast class. We'll talk about the third verse, which is again more beautiful than this one too. Each of these verses are so enriching. So I thank you very much, all devotees, that you have given me the opportunity to serve you. Now we have maybe 5-10 minutes. So I open the floor for you if you have any reflections, questions, which I don't mind taking. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So I understand that 18 days Vishnu Pitama was there, but we are
55
talking
days.
about 55.
Total
So
55.
how do you count that?
So after 18 days passed, this Pandavas went to Hastinapur and they done all coronations and everything was about to done. So a lot of rishis, lot of Vedvyas and other rishis were gathering at the Hastinapur because they want to congratulate Pandavas. So and also one of the things that we have mentioned in the first verse of this is that Bhishma Pitama was waiting for Uttarayan. Now Uttarayan has two meanings. As one of the meanings Prabhuji has explained me. One meaning is very literal, that when the sun changes his zodiac sign to Makar Rasi. That's why we call it Uttarayan. Right? Normally 14th of January, which we celebrate as a kite flying day in India. So when the sun transits to Uttarayan, so if it is said in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, or probably 3rd, that those souls, not devotees, those souls who leave their body in the time of Uttarayan, which is 6 months, they go to the higher lokas. But after a few verses of that, the Lord Krishna says the same thing, that for devotees it doesn't matter. Because they are always engaged in my service. So it doesn't matter whether they leave their body in Uttarayan or Dakshinayan. So Bhishma Pitama was waiting for Uttarayan to come. But real reason of Uttarayan does not mean that January. Uttarayan means the one who has protected Uttara. Uttara Ayan. Uttara, we know Parikshit Maharaj, when he was in Uttara's in a pregnancy, Lord Shri Krishna had protected. So this is another meaning, which is a spiritual meaning of Uttarayan. So basically it means that Ayan means to come. The one who has protected Uttara, I am waiting for that Krishna to show me, so that I can see his beauty, I can praise him before leaving my body. That answers your question, Mataji?
So I'm just wondering, like, after the war, everybody left, and then they came back to that, and then Vishnu Pitama was just lying there.
I don't have a daily activities, Mataji, that's what exactly happened. But yeah, they waited for 55 days. Any other questions, reflections, anything that you may have learned today new, or maybe you have not explained very well? Any other reflections, Mataji's? Prabhu? Prabhu? Don't do punches next time. Okay, then, yes, Mataji, you want to say
I was
something?
wondering, as you were talking about Gati Mati Rati,
Yes.
Radha Govind Maharaj was sitting in a train and he was reading Bhagavatam throughout the train journey, and there was one businessman watching Maharaj, and as the train was about to stopping and Maharaj was leaving, this businessman was saying, can you give me a summary of this Bhagavatam? Because I don't have time to read this Bhagavatam. So you are very well read, you know everything. So give me a summary of Bhagavatam in few words. Give me a summary. And Maharaj Maharaj replied, Krishna तुम्हारे पति, कृष्ण तुम्हारी गति, कृष्णा में लगाओ मति तो कृष्णा से होगी रति. He was quoting this Bhishma. What that means is he was saying Krishna तुम्हारे पति, Krishna is your husband, Krishna तुम्हारी गति, Krishna is your goal, Krishna में लगाओ मति. If you put your mind to Krishna, then Krishna से होगी रति, then you will develop your attachment to Krishna.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mataji. Very good reflection. So with this, do you have any question, Prabhu? No. So with this, thank you very much once again. Prabhu, your question?
Prabhu, my question is that you said that Arjun, he was picking Krishna when he was holding that bow and arrow.
Yes.
So does this really happen? And means even if they were friends, then even if that Arjun was so conscious, how can he pick the God?
Very good. So basically, Prabhu's question is that is it real that Arjun actually hit Krishna? See, Arjun, like friends, when you have a very close friend, you normally, what we call in India, tapli, you normally pet. Here we normally pet. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, do this, do right. Now you don't feel offended for that. Now in India we do all other different things which I cannot say from Vyas Peter. For the friends, of course. So yes, see, this is the beauty of Krishna. Like I said, the more I want to talk about Krishna, I feel the less I have spoken about Krishna. The third and fourth verse, where Krishna's prowess will be spoken. Krishna's devotee, the way we think that we are serving Krishna, but Krishna actually serves his devotee more than what we serve him. So that's we will go much in detail on third verse. But yes, Prabhu, that is right. Arjun actually kicks Krishna's, because the wartime is not that time where he says, "Hello Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam, can you take a ride?" The arrows coming from all the ways. यहाँ पे Ukraine missiles कहाँ पे आती है? Iran and you fighting, right? The missiles can come from anywhere from any time. So that time the arrows could come from any time. So Arjun is so vigilant. तो वो कृष्णा को बोलेगा नहीं, कृष्णा ले लो भाई, लेफ्ट में ले लो, क्या कर रहे हो? So and it's okay with Krishna. I mean, much more in a Krishna, even it is said, because Krishna is a charioteer, it is said in a Mahabharata that when the day is over, Krishna used to first go out of the chariot first, then he used to put his palms, and Arjun used to put his feet on his palm and used to go down of the chariot. Now, do you think the Supreme Personality of Godhead would do this service? He is so merciful. Krishna.
Prabhu, I have one question.
I have no problem, Prabhu. We can take as long as you want.
Yeah, just one. So, like Bhishma Pitama have that Ichamitru.
Yes.
So he waited for the Uttarayan.
Yes, Prabhu.
What is the benefit of leaving the body in Uttarayan? Like not all, like only one person we hear that he's left the body in Uttarayan, but none of them are not in that same thing.
Yes.
What he gained, what others lost.
Very good. So again, this question has been answered, but since Prabhu has asked me, I'm sure that I may not have spoken right. So Prabhu is asking again the same question, that first when Bhishma Pitama leaves his body in Uttarayan, why other devotees does not do it, and secondly, we don't see any other mentioning anywhere about somebody leaving the body in Uttarayan. So to answer this question, firstly, nobody has the privilege of leaving the body when they desire. Only Bhishma Pitama had this boon, this benediction. So we don't know when we will leave our body, Prabhu. So that is the reason why nobody else has been mentioned in the scripture. The second answer to this is that the benefit of this is, normally it is said, and it is in a Bhagavad Gita, that the one who leaves the body in Uttarayan, he goes in the higher planetary system, like Swarga and Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka. But those planets are not permanent planets. So after some times where you pay your visit and then you come back, if you have $100,000, you can go to Las Vegas and you can enjoy. But when your money is done, they will kick you out and you have to come back to Columbus. Similarly with the higher planetary system, your punyas, when your punyas are exhausted, you have to come back. So the benefit is that if you want to go to higher lokas, yes, if you know the date of your time, Nowadays we know the time of the birth. We can tweak with it, but we don't know the time of the death. If you know, if you're fortunate in a Prabhu, you can still do it.
No, why like Bhishma Pitama wants to come back? He can go to the.
No, he doesn't want to come back. The reason, like I explained, that Uttarayan does not mean actually the January month. Uttarayan means Uttar is Uttara and Ayan is to come. The one who has protected Uttara, which is Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna, is waiting for Lord Krishna. Everybody is paying homage to Bhishma Pitama, but he is waiting for Krishna to see him. That's why. That's why it's called Uttarayan.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mother.
I wanted to comment a quick story on what my Prabhu asked, the
Yes.
question about Arjuna kicking Krishna. So there was a priest who was worshipping Gopal. So Gopal is nothing a baby Krishna, and he was worshipping Gopal. And one day Gopal started feeling very cold. So the priest used to bring like so many blankets. He brought so many, but still like Lord is shivering. He was shivering so much that he put fire camps around him, and still he's shivering. He's God. He can like keep himself warm even without all this, but after doing all that, still he was feeling so cold. Then the priest understand that there was someone who made an offering, who brought a very thin piece of a cloth, and that person was very poor, so he could just afford getting a small piece of cloth. So they brought, the person brought it, but the priest did not offer to Gopal. He thought like, this is such a trash kind of cloth, why would I offer? So that was Krishna's Leela, that he wanted that offering to be used by him, and that's why he was showing those symptoms that he wanted that offering to be accepted. So then when the priest gave him, he felt better. He was again normal. But then the priest asked Krishna, Gopal, that you are Lord. You can keep yourself warm even without all this. So then Krishna said to the priest, do you consider me as a Lord or you consider me as a kid? You worship me as a baby Krishna. Then why you are saying that I'm a Lord? So Krishna reciprocates with us the way we worship
ये
him.
यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजामि मम वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्यः पापे सर्वशः 4.11. Very good. Thank you so much. So with this again, thank you very much. You have given me the opportunity. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Network ki Jai. And we can stand for Hare Krishna.